They say evil doesn't always crawl out of the woods or rise from graves. Sometimes it walks the streets wearing a perfect smile, speaking softly, preaching salvation, and promising answers to the people who feel most lost. In the late 1960s, across the United States and the United Kingdom, a strange group appeared out of nowhere. A group that worshipped both Christ and Satan. A group that dressed in black robes, walked with German shepherds at night, recruited runaways, and prophesied the coming destruction of humanity. A group, some believe, quietly influenced serial killers, infiltrated celebrities, and may still exist in hidden pockets around the world. And tonight, we're going to step inside their world. This is the story the public was never meant to hear. This is the process church of the final judgment. And once you learn what they were actually doing behind closed doors, you'll understand why governments, detectives, and even ex-members still refuse to talk. Before we go deeper into this nightmare, subscribe to the channel if you want more stories that peel back the curtain on the darkest corners of our world. Just be warned, after this one, you may start noticing things you wish you hadn't. Urban legends are easy to dismiss. Cult rumors, secret societies, whispers of satanic practices, we usually chalk them up to tabloid exaggeration or paranoid imagination. But the process church wasn't invented by gossip. It was real. It had headquarters. It had a doctrine. It had money, influence, and an army of devoted followers who were willing to abandon their families, their identities, and even their names to serve a pair of charismatic leaders, Robert de Grimston and Mary Ann McLean. Their message was simple. The world was ending. God and Satan would reconcile, and only the select few who surrendered everything to the process would survive. For the outside world, this group seemed strange but harmless, just another fringe counterculture movement during a chaotic era. But as time passed, more details leaked, more stories surfaced, and soon investigators realized the group wasn't just preaching apocalyptic philosophy. Something far darker was happening inside their inner circles. It begins in London, 1963. Robert de Grimston, a tall, almost monk-like man with cold eyes and a voice that could make anything sound profound, meets Mary Ann McLean, a woman whose past is a fog of contradictions. Some claim she was once engaged to a famous boxer. Others say she worked as a high-end escort. But what's undeniable is her influence. The moment she met Robert, everything about their lives changed. The two formed a partnership that would evolve into a spiritual empire built on manipulation and control. And Mary Ann wasn't just a partner. She was the architect, the mastermind, the one people feared far more than Robert. The early followers described their first encounter with the group, like stepping into another world. Members in long black robes, incense, dim lighting. German shepherds lying silently beside the altar, trained to stare directly into newcomers' eyes, as if they were judging their souls. Everything was designed to break you down and rebuild you. You were told your past no longer existed. Your family no longer existed. Only the process existed, and if you resisted, they had methods to purify you. Long hours of interrogation disguised as therapy, sleep deprivation, emotional breakdown sessions. Members were encouraged to confess their darkest secrets. Then those secrets were used as leverage to keep them obedient. But the strangest part, and the part that made the public recoil, was their theology. The process taught that Christ, Satan, Jehovah, and Lucifer were all divine aspects, all necessary forces in the world. They didn't reject Satan, they embraced him. They believed that in the end times, Christ and Satan would reunite, forging a kind of cosmic balance. To outsiders, it sounded like madness. To insiders, it was salvation. As the group expanded, they traveled from London to the United States, setting up chapters in Los Angeles, San Francisco, New Orleans, New York, and even isolated desert compounds. And wherever they went, rumors followed. People reported seeing process members wandering the streets at night, their dogs silently trailing behind. Locals said they approached runaways, offering them safety, food, and purpose. Many of those runaways were never seen again. Then the killings started. In the late 1960s, California was being stalked by multiple serial killers. The Zodiac, Manson, the Alphabet Killer. The Hillside Stranglers came later. Investigators were overwhelmed, and in the chaos, a theory emerged that some of these killers had been influenced by the process church, Tia, not directly ordered, but spiritually primed, manipulated, encouraged through doctrine to embrace chaos and destruction. The most infamous rumor claimed Charles Manson had connections to the process. Some said he borrowed their ideology. Others claimed he adapted their symbols. The church denied everything, but the suspicion stuck. Even now, decades later, people still believe the group had a quiet hand in steering violent, unstable individuals down darker paths. And then something strange happened. In the mid-1970s, the process church didn't collapse. It transformed. It changed its name. It rewrote its mission. It became the Foundation Church. Then the Foundation Faith. Then it morphed again. And again, like a shadow shifting forms. Eventually, it re-emerged under a completely different identity, as an animal rescue organization. The same group once accused of influencing killers and preaching the reconciliation of Satan and Christ, now posing as a charity. Some see this as redemption. Others see it as camouflage, a way to disappear into the world while keeping their inner circle alive. Even today, people claim the original process never truly dissolved. They say it splintered, fractured into private groups that still meet in abandoned buildings, secluded forests, or quiet suburban homes. That members still wear the black robes during ceremonies. That Marianne McLean's teachings didn't die with her. They simply went underground. And when former members are interviewed, most refuse to talk. Some break down crying. Others say they're terrified of what might happen if they reveal too much. One former member said, "You don't leave the process. You just stop showing up." But they never forget you. And behind all of this lies the same chilling question. What was the process church really trying to accomplish? A spiritual awakening, or the creation of a network of loyal, obedient followers who could be activated when the world fell apart? To this day, no one knows how many members truly existed. No one knows how wealthy the group became. And no one knows how many of their cells still operate quietly in the shadows. But one thing is certain: groups like this don't disappear. They wait. The story of the Process Church of the Final Judgment, ISN. Just a tale about a strange cult from the 1960s. It's a reminder that the most dangerous monsters are not always creatures lurking in forests or ghosts haunting abandoned highways. Sometimes the real horror is human, charismatic, organized, and patient. And if a group like the Process managed to hide its true nature for decades, quietly influencing people from the shadows, what else could be out there right now doing the same thing? If you want more stories like this, the ones that slip between history and nightmare, the ones that force you to question what you think you know about the world, hit that subscribe button and step deeper with me into the darkness. Just remember, once you see how deep these stories go, there's no unseeing it.